Right here you'll see all the materials you're going to be using at the Sound Engineer station. And the first thing I want to go over are the connections that you'll see in audio. So oftentimes when you're working on the Eagle Insider you will use XLR cables. This is an XLR cable. It's probably the most used cable in audio. And with every audio connection you have a female connection and a male connection. And they fit together like that. Okay? Or they plug into the soundboard. You'll notice the female connection here, you can use that to, actually it's the male connection I think, you can plug that right into the soundboard. And then you have another connection. This is a 1/4 inch connection. They're called 1/4 inch audio cables. Those are usually in like headphones and instruments and things like that. So you may use some of those along the line. I know you will for the headphones because there's the phone input right here. That's how you'll listen to what's going into the soundboard. And then you have these, it's called a 3.5 millimeter mini, and these are the typical headphone jacks that you're probably used to for your earbuds and everything. Okay? And if you look real close, you can see that they have 2 little lines or 1 little line. If it's 2 little black lines, it means that stereo has 2 channels, right and left coming through of audio. But if it's just 1 little black line, it just means it's mono, just one channel of audio. So nice little fact there for you. So those are the connections, and please know that there are adapters for all of these connections. So if you're like, oh man, like I don't have the right connection, like I have a mini and I need to go to an XLR, well hey, check it out, we've got an adapter, and that's what these are for. So in order for us to get the microphone, like if we're putting this on one of our anchors or reporters, this is a transmitter. So this is going to transmit the audio that the person's saying to the receiver. And this receiver needs to somehow get connected to the soundboard, and so it only has a 3.5 millimeter input, so you just plug that in, screw it on, and then there's a nice handy XLR jack that you can plug right into channel 1 or 2 or whatever you want. Okay? So that microphone is like ready to go. Then let's say we wanted to hook up a handheld for a different person. So this one we would plug it in, just like that, find the right plug-in, and then again, just plug the other end of the XLR cable into here. And there we go, and then they would be on channel 2. And then to listen to everything, you'd want to make sure you plug in your headphones to the phone's block right there, and then you could listen to everything that's getting mixed in the soundboard. Alright, so that's kind of getting everything connected. There's literally going to be audio cables all over the place, and just make sure you're covering them up and making sure they're really neat as you lay them out if you're the sound engineer. Now to kind of explain the soundboard for you real quickly, you really just have to look at the things that are on it and kind of get used to the vocab. Understand that there are, if anything says in, it means just like a channel coming in, like a microphone coming in. So if you see like line in 4, line in 6, line in 8, those are your microphones coming in. That's where you would plug stuff in. And if it says main out, that means that the sound is going out. And so we're going to need to send the mix that we're making, the mix of all this sound, we're going to send it over to the TriCaster so that it goes into our news broadcast. But you as the sound engineer are responsible for mixing it together to make sure it sounds all good. So a couple other basics. Every microphone is a different channel, and each channel is like a vertical row on here. And so you plug in your microphone and you have lots of different controls. You have a volume control right here. You have a mute button where you can mute it until the person's ready to talk. And you have gain controls if you want to increase the range at which your volume level can go. Okay, so all of these controls are at your disposal. These are a little more fine-tuned for like bass and treble and lows and mids and highs and things like that, and you're welcome to use those, but if you want to just kind of keep those all in the mid-range, you'll probably be safe, but for now. Okay, so that's soundboard basics. All right. Oh, and I should mention you've got the main mix here too. This adjusts the volume of all of these. So this is how you adjust individually for each channel. But then if you up the main mix, it's going to increase the volume of everything that goes out to the TriCaster. So if you want to adjust the volume of everything, increase the main mix. Okay? And that is pretty much it. So now that you guys kind of have the idea, you can probably start playing pretty soon. I guess I thought of one more thing, and that is when you have the wireless microphone right here, you need to turn it on, you just open it up, and there's an on-off button. You just hold it for a second. And then you do the same thing for the microphone. Give me 1 second. Turn it on. And then there's like an up and down arrow right here. If you press up or down, you're going to notice that it's on a certain channel. It says BCH:1.3. And let's see what this one says. This one says BCH 1.3. Great, awesome. So that means both of these microphones are on the same frequency. They're on the same channel, which is what you want. If this one was, say, on like B 1.2, you would have to change it to 1.3 so that these could actually talk to each other. For these two to talk to each other, they have to be on the same channel. So if you ever need to change that, you just tap on Set, and then you just scroll through the menu until you get to the frequency preset, and then you hit Set again, and you can change it to like 2.3. I could go 1.4, 1.5. I mean, there's a bajillion different channels you can choose. But when you finish, you just hit Set again, it stores it, and you're all done. To turn the mics off, when you're done, hold the on-off button, and then it will turn off. Okay, we'll do that with this one. Okay, there you go. There's your orientation. Have fun. Read the directions in the worksheet for the rest of this station.